Hello and welcome back to Scale Down Customs. In this video I'm going to continue the build on the Revell Porsche 934, the RSR Jagermeister livery. So we're going to work on detail painting underneath the hood and some other detail painting around the car, some interior parts, and we're going to do some pre-primer assembly on some pieces. So I've got everything cleaned off the sprues, so we'll work on putting some stuff together prior to primer and go from there. Alright, so I wanted to do the roll cage in a gloss black, which is going to be different than the interior, so decided to pre-assemble that on the interior, and then I can take it off once it's dry and paint that a separate color. And then of course the engine. It always pays to read the instructions beforehand, so I had to clip off a little bit to get that transmission to fit on there, but so we'll get these primed up and we'll keep moving along. Alright, so while you guys weren't looking, I went ahead and sprayed some primer, just using my hobby sticks with regular alligator clips super glued to them to hold my pieces, or just using blue tack, a big ball of blue tack to kind of hold pieces as well that don't have pinch points that I can grab with the alligator clips. So I've also been doing a little bit of painting as well, so I sprayed the engine block and the transmission with the aluminum, so making progress on that. And before I put any decals on the body, there is a little bit of texture, so I want to make sure that it's as smooth as possible, so I'm going to put a couple light coats of the Alclad Aqua Gloss Clear just to make them a little bit more smooth for decal application. For the aluminum, I just used the Alclad aluminum sprays. I really like these products. Alright, so before I go put the clear coat on there, one of the decals is going to go half on the orange and half on the black spoiler. So I want to, obviously I'm going to need to paint that before I put the decals on. So I got it all masked up. Just used a little bit of liquid mask on the back end there to try to get a straight line, which didn't get totally straight, but anyway, so I got it all masked up and we're going to go spray that black. Just the Tamiya semi-gloss black is what I'm going to use for that. Then we'll be ready for clear coat and then decals. Now some of you may be asking, why didn't I just mask off the grill and paint that at the same time? Well, because I'm going to clear coat this and I don't want the grill to be clear coated. So after I clear coat it, I will remask for the grill on the back. All right, so I got 2 coats of the all-clad clear coat on there, the Aqua Gloss Clear. It went on kind of rough on a couple spots. I think once again, I probably put it on too thick. I tried to build it up too quickly. So I'm gonna wet sand this down because it needs to be smooth. So we'll do, once again, my Tamiya sponge. This is a 3000 grit that I've actually used, so it may be more like a 4000 grit by now. But I'm just gonna wet sand this down just to get it smooth again. And then if we need to add another, just kind of a light top coat to smooth it up a little bit more, we might do that before decals. Alright, so I got our wet sanded down, just from really light pressure, just a few strokes, and it actually smoothed up really nicely. So next thing I'm going to work on is detail painting underneath the hood. And to do that, I'm going to use some Tamiya semi-gloss black. Now this stuff dries really quickly, and so you'll get brush strokes in there. So to try to mitigate that, I'm going to add a couple drops of their Tamiya paint retarder and a little bit of Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. And then this is just a brush cleaning station with Tamiya lacquer thinner in there to clean my brushes out with. All right, we're getting close to some assembly, so before I do that, I want to get a wash on this engine block and transmission. Again, I'm just going to use Mr. Hobby, their weathering compound. This is the multi-black with their solvent, and I'm going to put it on kind of heavy and then take most of it back off as it washes into the grooves. So I've got a couple parts that call for chrome, these shock absorber shafts. I want to paint these in a chrome, and I tried this a while ago and it actually has been working pretty well for me. So this is the Malto liquid chrome, but this is a refill for the pens. And so what I've been doing is just get a little bit out and then just paint it on. And it actually works really well. Kind of the trick is you have to put it on pretty thick, because to get it to have that chrome look, it needs to kind of pool up a little bit. So get it on your brush and then get it on there kind of heavy. I have tried airbrushing this and it's the same thing. You can airbrush it, but again, it kind of needs to pool up. So if you do airbrush it, it's got to go on really thick. And then you do need to let this dry for a few days before you start handling it. All right, so I'm gonna put that in the dryer, let that dry up, and then we're gonna paint the coils on there. All right, so we're gonna try some heat staining this exhaust. I decided to chrome it up, so I just used the Alclad gloss black and then the Alclad chrome. Just lightly mist the chrome on until it kind of gets the effect that you're looking for. So I first learned this technique from Matt on the Scale Modeling channel. So once again, thanks Matt. And he uses the Tamiya colors, and I've used that and it works really well. But this time I want to try the Alclad, the transparent yellow, transparent red, and transparent blue. And I want to see what kind of effect that'll give me. Alclad also has the hot metal blue, hot metal red, and hot metal violet. These work pretty good as well. but I'm just going to stick with the just the regular transparent colors, as sometimes these are a little bit darker. So we'll go spray that on. All right, so that worked pretty well. Of course, I got the camera all set up and realized after that I forgot to turn the camera on. So anyway, this is what it'll look like when you're done. So the idea is you just do really light mist coats. Do the yellow first, then the red, then the blue on top, and then it gives you kind of a heat stain look. Anyway, and then I went over it with some with the All Clad Clear, the gloss, just to protect that, because those coats are so light and so thin that any little type of contact on there will brush that right off. So you want to get it protected on there. Anyway, so that'll do it for this video. Make sure you stay tuned for the next one. We'll probably start working on some decals and assembly now that we've got everything all painted up. So that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.